Emil, de schijnt heiß goud. Wir brauchen mehr Kohle.
All right, so I'm walking in my neighborhood of Nueva Santiago. And you may be asking yourself, why am I here? Why am I in Chile? Well, I like to go back in time a little bit, a couple of years. So for the last 13 years, I have been an international teacher teaching visual arts. And I decided when we moved to Chile that this would be the last country that I'll be teaching international school. And how this project started was a field trip that I went with my students out to the Atacama Desert. Now, during this field trip, there was a memorable moment where all of us were sitting around a bonfire, middle of nowhere, out at night, looking at the stars. And one of the tour guides that was with us brought his guitar and started playing music, and that kind of loosened up the mood. And then we ended up talking about, where our family's from, or do you have any family stories? So that made me feel kind of comfortable to share my personal story. And my story was talking about my great-grandfather, Emil Kobi, that moved to Canada in the early 1900s. Now, what made this story so interesting is that when he moved with his family from Switzerland to the Prairies, Alberta, they had to build their own sod house. And what that is basically a house built in the grass. Now, what makes this story particularly interesting is that Emil had a brother that lived in New York City that moved to North America a couple of years after he did. Now, he thought it'd be quite interesting to send his brother a housewarming present, and that housewarming present was a pump organ. Now, you got to imagine sending a pump organ across the country all the way to the prairies, what kind of journey that would be. So when I told my students and the counselor about this story, they told me, wow, that's quite the fascinating story. How two brothers were trying to, keep their relationship alive, trying to keep their family bond connected, and how a pump organ was the instrument that brought them together. And when I finished teaching, I decided to spend most of my time sitting down and writing a short script. And that's why I'm launching this Patreon, is because I would like to see this short film on the screen for everyone to see. Now, my goal is to shoot this short film about 10 minutes to 13 minutes in length, and hopefully further down the road this would turn into a feature film. So while I was writing down this history, I noticed that there was a pattern within my family, a pattern of distance between siblings. And I noticed that there was also a pattern with my mother and her sister, and now myself and my siblings, with me living in Chile, South America, and my brothers being back in Canada. Now, what I felt was there's some type of bond for our family trying to stay connected over a long distance. Now, that's why I need to do this. I'm going to put this real family organ in the film, and I'm going to physically rebuild a sod house, brick by brick, to help understand what it was like. Now, to make this possible, I'm launching a Patreon on this project, and there's going to be some tiers that everyone could take advantage of. And we have options ranging from $3 to $100, and you could find a level that fits your budget and your interests in this project. So if you're interested or know someone that has this familiar bond over long distances, you can head over to my Patreon page and see all the different perks you can get and each level what you can get from these levels. So if you ever felt the distance from home, join us and let's build this together.